Donald Trump is outworking Hillary Clinton, the Republican nominee, holding rallies in 4 battleground states today all over the country. Fox News chief political correspondent Carl Cameron gets to write on that itinerary. He's with the Trump campaign now in Denver, where Trump is holding a rally later tonight. Good evening, Carl.
Long day, Lou. He started in Tampa, Florida. Then he went to North Carolina. He's wrapped an event in Reno, Nevada. And tonight he'll be here in Colorado, just outside of Denver. This is a very, very busy time, obviously. This is the critical weekend before the final days in the actual election itself, when the voters can put us up and shut us all up. And we'll find out who'll win. It was very revealing today. Trump, starting in Tampa, in a state that he absolutely has to win. Florida was won by Barack Obama in 2012. He needs to flip that. Then he went to North Carolina, a state that Mitt Romney won in 2012. He has to defend that. He announced in Tampa today that tomorrow he's going to go to Minnesota. Minnesota is a blue state. Minnesota was won by Barack Obama, and it's been won by Democrats for 2.5 decades, even more, actually. And he's going there because the polls have tightened there a bit. Hillary Clinton still has a lead. The average of polls there show that Trump's behind about 4.5 points. And he's not going to go to Wisconsin. He had an event there planned for tomorrow. House Speaker Paul Ryan was going to show up and campaign with Trump. That's not going to happen. He's going to go to Minnesota instead, which is a big gamble. He's trying to make the case that he's expanding the playing field, and he can compete in states where Democrats have been winning and pick up some additional swing voters, independents, moderates, and maybe some disaffected Democrats. But in Florida and Ohio and North Carolina and Pennsylvania, his must-wins, he's got to win 3 out of 4 of them, really. And if not, he's in trouble. And so leaving those states unattended, even to go to a place like Minnesota, is a questionable move that will have pundits buzzing all through the Sunday shows tomorrow.
Well, those pundits have been clucking for months, Carl, as you know, and straightforwardly. I mean, Minnesota, as I'm sitting here listening to you report this, I'm looking here, where does it say Minnesota? This is a startling change in his itinerary. He is strong in those other states that you mentioned. We're talking about New Hampshire. We're talking about Pennsylvania, Ohio, where he has his most significant lead amongst those 3 states. Florida, as you know, he's behind by just a little over a point, well within the margin of error. It's hard to read, but Minnesota, I'm with you, Carl. I'm saying, whoa, what's that about?
Well, it's about trying to create a bandwagon. Trump, when he's on the stump, often likes to tell people that he's winning in all the polls. That's not actually true. He's in the margin of error in all the polls. So if there's a statistical variance there, it's possible that he's leading, but that's not what the polls all say. And he's creating this sense of optimism with his audience, with his constituents, that is quite in contrast to what the Democrats are doing. Hillary Clinton's urging everybody to get out there and back her agenda, but the emails that go out from staffers and from various different political operatives would make you think the sky is falling, because they want everybody to show up with a bucket of water and throw it on Trump at the polling place.
Yeah, it's truly remarkable. I think he's right about his momentum. We've seen that build since Friday last, a week ago.
No question about it.
We are watching something we've never witnessed before. We were just, kidding about the pundits. They haven't been right for a year and a half. So who's to say they've got anything worthwhile to listen to now? But the fact is, we've got 2 campaigns that we've never seen before in an amazing situation.
Lou, and there's one thing about the surge that he has now. It actually started before the Comey memo. The Comey said he was going to reopen the investigation. In fact, when Trump really focused was when the Obamacare premium spike next year was first reported. And at that point, he began talking about repealing Obamacare and talking about contemporary news and policy. And he led his speeches several nights in a row with that, as opposed to how well he's doing in the polls or whether he was, how he's going to attack Hillary Clinton. That was a huge moment. Then when Comey announced that the investigation was still ongoing and there was more information to be found on Anthony Weiner's laptop, Trump had a weapon, again, contemporary news leading in. Not old stuff from years ago, not old stuff on either side, not old stuff from Hillary. Contemporary news. That's the kind of thing that can really build the momentum you're talking about. You got to have a big organization. Hillary's is bigger than his, and that's something that we got to watch very, very carefully on Monday and Tuesday. in terms of who's rented the most buses to get people to the polls.
Right. And, you know, with all of that, the energy and the intensity of this campaign generated by, let's be very clear, by the Donald Trump campaign, it's going to be fun to see the effect and what washes over all of these polling booths all across the country and see who emerges. It's going to be a hoot. Carl Cameron, man, you are tough to stay up with one Donald Trump. Good work, as always.